Today we're taking it old school. Have you ever had sugar roti? The kind of snacks we have available now, our grandparents didn't have it when they were growing up. Their snacks were all homemade with the simplest ingredients. So let me show you how to make sugar roti or sweet roti. First, you'll need 2 cups of flour, and I've sifted mine. You'll need salt and some baking powder. And you'll need some type of fat. I'm using ghee, but you can use oil or butter. And you're just going to work that in and mix it until everything is combined. Now add some hot water, and you want to pull this together into a soft but not a sticky dough. And this should take about 5 minutes. For the purposes of this video, I'm making a few sugar rotis to show you, but usually this is actually made with leftover dough. So if you're making sada roti, basap shot, or dhalpuri and you have leftover dough, you make a sugar roti. Or my mom would just put aside one of the loyas and make it for us. Once the dough comes together, you're going to cover it with a damp paper towel. Set it aside, let it rest for a few minutes, and then portion it into smaller loyas or dough balls. So I got 5 small loyas with mine because I'm making really thin sugar roti. If you want to make them a little bit thicker, then you can possibly get about 3 to 4 larger roti. After the loyas or the dough balls rest, you're going to open out one by pressing out the edges so that it's thinner than the middle of the dough. And you can use a bailna or a rolling pin to roll this out a little bit. And you don't have to roll it too big, just enough so that the sugar fits in there. Now brush with a little bit of ghee. Of course, you can use any type of fat you want, or you can omit it. Add some fine brown sugar. Make sure it's fine and not coarse, because when you roll it out, it's going to burst through the dough. And then you're just going to seal that up. I just did like a pinch and squeeze technique that my mom showed me. And then you're just gonna press it out to get the sugar dispersed inside the dough, and then set it aside and fill the rest. I used 1 tablespoon of sugar, but you can use more. I just prefer less sugar in mine, but you can definitely use more if you want. So I'm demonstrating it a second time for you. Brush the ghee, add your sugar, and you can spice it up if you want. I added some cinnamon to this one. You can add nutmeg or even some elaichi or cardamom. And then you just pull the top together, squeeze it in, and seal it properly. And here I'll show you how the Indian Cheeni Paratha is made. So you want to roll out the dough kind of like if you're rolling out a roti. So roll it out really thin. Then brush a layer of ghee on top. And then sprinkle your sugar. Sprinkle some sugar all around, and if you want to add your cinnamon or other spices, feel free to do that. And then you're going to fold it in, and it's going to look like a rectangle when it's done. So you're going to fold it like this and then set it aside. Here I'm making one with agave for my little baby boy, and he loved it. So it's the same concept. You can use honey as well. Just don't use too much because it will seep out of the dough. And here I have all my filled sugar roti loyas. Now it's time to roll it out and cook it. It's the fun part. So you're just going to press it out to get the sugar dispersed throughout the dough. And then use your bailna or rolling pin to roll it out. And as I mentioned before, I like thin rotis. So I'm going to roll it out really, really thin. If you need dry flour, you can go ahead and add just a little bit, not too much. And just keep rolling until it's the thickness or the thinness that you want. So this looks good for me here. I'm going to place it onto a hot tower that's been brushed with some ghee. And you don't have to brush it with anything. You can make it like a sada roti, depending on how you like it. This is the way my mom used to make it. She always made it very thin and crispy. So you're going to place your rolled out dough on there. Brush another layer of ghee. Don't worry, this is not meant to be eaten often or in large amounts. So when you're going to splurge, you can do it the right way. So just give it a good brush of the ghee and then flip it. Once you see the bubbles, then you know it's time to flip. When you flip it, you can add a little more ghee if you want. As you can see, I'm being really extra today. I haven't had this in years, so I think I deserve a little treat today. And this is going to puff up, and the steam inside is going to melt the sugar, and it's going to get all gooey and delicious. I can't wait to eat it. And this will only take about 30 to 45 minutes to cook completely. Wait, did I just say minutes? I mean seconds. 30 to 45 seconds to cook completely. And because mine are super thin, they won't take that long. But if you're doing yours thicker, then definitely leave it on for a longer time. I love thin rotis, so you'll always see me making really thin, paper thin roti. I even like thin bara too. So now I'm about to make the Indian Cheeni Paratha, and this one looks really cool. It actually looks like a rectangle when I roll it out, so stick around to see. So it's all rolled out now. Let's get it onto the oil tower. And I didn't mention, but you can do this in a frying pan. It's better to do this on a cast iron pan or griddle. You can do it on a flat top or a griddle, whatever you have available to you, or even a frying pan if that's what you have. You can make use of whatever you have. You don't need to go get special utensils or equipment for the recipes. As usual, as it puffs up, you're gonna flip it, ghee it again, give it a little ghee, brush it properly, and then cook it for 30 to 45 seconds. And then you're gonna just continue doing this for the rest of the rotis. And they all won't come out perfect, but that's fine. It's gonna give your roti some character. And that's the beauty of cooking, to be honest. A lot of people look for perfection in the kitchen, but you just want to have fun with it and just enjoy the process. See how this one got a little bit torn? That's fine. It's still going to taste delicious. Like I said, you don't want to strive for perfection in the kitchen. You want your food to taste good, of course, and you want to put all your love into it. And we want to cherish recipes like these. This is what my grandparents, or even my great-grandparents, would have grown up eating. They didn't know about Kit Kat and Snickers and all the fancy thing we have now. They had the most basic and the simplest snacks, and they loved it. This is what they had and what they could have afforded. So it's very special, and it's definitely part of the culture and the traditions. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope you learned something new and you enjoyed the video. Of course, this is not meant to be eaten as a meal, but as a small snack. Most of us are adults here and we should know how to practice portion control. Don't go eating a whole roti. So I posted this on social media recently and some people said I was encouraging a diabetic lifestyle, but I hope you all know that sugar alone doesn't cause diabetes. It's poor eating habits, lack of portion control, and lack of exercise, and of course, genetics. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Bye.